guys, and welcome to another Dalek Reads. Yes, apparently Giratina wants me to continue reading this insanity. He wants me to continue reading this, this series of Daleks of Shadows, apparently, because he's been asking me very nicely, by the way. Yes, not forceful at all, no. But I will do it. I will do it. I will do it for your sake. We're currently halfway through the first one, so I might as well continue the first one then. Here we go. No! Charlotte whimpered. She wanted her mum and dad, she wanted her grandpa, but they would help her if they only knew. She'd even settle for goofy Uncle Jake or Aunt Millie, as long as they would come to her for rescue. She would even put on a Christmas sweater if it made them happy. No. No? Pity. I always think impaling has a certain dramatic flair, perhaps something with a little more zing. Electrocution is an effective option. Did you know that the electric chair was developed in the 1800s by a dentist named Alfred P. Southwick? He came up with the idea of the electric chair based on his dental chair. That's not exactly comforting to people with dental phobias, now is it? I don't have a chair to strap you into, but I do have the power to shoot a series of strong electric currents through my casing. If the current zaps your heart, your stomach, or brain, you'll die quickly. If it doesn't, you'll have nasty burns, and your heart will go some fibrillation, which will generally kill you if you don't have help. And I think we already established you don't have anybody here to help you. Giratina sounded twisted. Help was a word Charlotte wanted desperately to scream, but she knew it was a waste of energy. Energy needed to conserve if she had any hope of survival. So, what do you think? Electrocution? You'd be shocked at how effective it is. Electrifyingly a good time, as the Emperor would say. Giratina sounded even more twisted. Charlotte had once experienced a shock unplugging a hairdryer from a wall socket. In a badly wired hotel, she felt the electric tear painfully up her arm, and for a few moments was out of breath, as if someone had punched her stomach. She didn't want to think about how an electric current strong enough to kill her would feel. A good time for you, but not for me, she said. We certainly are picky, aren't we? For somebody who wants the end result, we're awfully fussy about how to achieve it. Giratina compares himself to a waiter at a fancy restaurant. That leads him to boiling. He explains that he can flood his insides with water and use his energy stores to raise the temperature. Charlotte begs him not to, and Giratina understands. People who observed boilings during Henry VII's time said it was so sickening that they would have to prefer to see beheading, said Dalek Giratina. How about extermination? The Dalek screeched, his claw ripped off his gunstick and pointed it at his casing, where Charlotte is. No, no, please. Charlotte begged again. Beheading. Oh. Now there's a good one. We haven't talked about it yet. Decapitation. Giratina said that it was like such a happy word. There are many ways to chop off your head, of course. And if the blade is sharp enough, well, poor Mary Queen of Scots had to get 3 hacks with a headsman dull axe before her noggin was liberated from her body. The guillotine was quick and clean, though didn't require any particular skill on the part of the executioner, which made it easy to get rid of all the snots during the French Revolution. They just lined up them and rammed them through the guillotine like an assembly line, or rather as a disassembly line. The Dalek paused again. Whatever it was, it seemed to be having a good time at Charlotte's expense. I don't have a sword like a Saudi Arabian executioner, silly Charlotte, the Dalek said, but I do have a sharp sheet of metal I could pass through the casing. It could pass at the level of your throat, or it could hit you lower and bisect you. And bisection is a sure way to go too. Madame Guillotine, instead of a slow, dull hacking like Mary Queen of Scots experienced. But I'm not 100% sure this will be my first attempt at decapitation. But yours too, but it'll also be your last. As the Dalek laughed at its latest witticism, Charlotte pushed on the walls of the casing that trapped her. They didn't budge, but then she saw a tiny crack of light shining through the side of the door. Maybe if she could slip something, a tool of some sort, into that crack, she could somehow pry the door open. But what could she use as a tool? She took a mental survey of her jewellery. Earrings were too small and breakable, and her necklace was unhelpful. String of jet beads, but there was a silver cuff bracelet on her wrist. She pulled it off and brushed and bent it until it was a nearly straight. The end seemed like the right size to slip into the crack of a door, but she was too afraid to test it, too worried that her captor would notice. "Charlotte?" the Dalek asked. "Are you still with me? A decision must be made." Charlotte thought if she lowered her head and curled up into a little ball, when the blade shot through, it would miss her. She'd have to be quick, though, and make sure that she got her whole head out of the way, or she'd get scalped. If the blade came through lower to bisect her, she'd really have to flatten out the bottom of a small space. "Is there any chance you would just let me go?" she asked. "Anything I could give you in exchange for my casing? Oh, Charlotte, there's nothing I want more than to exterminate you." The Dalek was impatient. Charlotte took a deep breath. "Okay then. Decapitation it is." "Really?" Giratina sounded excited, pleased even. "Excellent choice." Charlotte felt more tears to spring to her eyes. She had to be strong, but could still cry and be strong at the same time. "Tell me when you're about to do it. Okay. Don't just bring it on me." "Fair enough, I suppose. It's not like you're going anywhere. Give me a few minutes to get ready. After all, I don't want a poor performance." The casing shook and rattled. Then the Dalek's eye stalk rolled back, outward, away from the casing. Charlotte waited, her heart pounding. Why she ever wished for death, no matter how hard life could be, how depressing or disappointing. She wanted to live, if nothing else. She wanted the chance to apologize to William for what she said about him being broke, and to ask if they could be friends again. She curled into as tiny as a ball as she could, tucking her head under her arms. She hoped harder than she had ever hoped for anything. She was low enough to miss a blade. Giratina gives an execution speech talking about how Charlotte has committed crimes of humanity, as she was rude, quick to anger, hypocritical. Charlotte asks why she's the one being punished if every human commits them. And he simply responds that she is the one in the casing. Charlotte whimpered. "In the spirit of the Dalek Empire, I now do a roll countdown before releasing the blade in 1, 2, 10. The Dalek was quick with the countdown. As the blade sliced through the casing, meanwhile Charlotte's grandfather calls her cousins to come back inside for dinner, and when they're asked about Charlotte, they say they haven't seen her. He brushes it off. that she'll come back home when she's hungry. Next thing you know, 27 planets disappear. Well, that apparently was story 5. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dalek Reads. If you did, well, remember to subscribe for more. I'll see you all in the next video then. Farewell. Thanks all for the enjoyable video today. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Dalek Empire, or you will be exterminated. There will be no resistance. I am the god of all Daleks.